What's up, everybody? There's no one here yet. What's up if you're watching this a little later? So yeah, I guess I could I could already explain what we're going to do. But first, I really need to check if the music is not too loud, because that would not be great. That would be very, very bad. Okay, wait, I need to. It seems fine. Okay, yeah, it seems fine. So, yeah, now I can tell you what we're going to do. Let's get this off first, and let's turn on the music again. Something like this. So yeah, if you're watching this a little later, what we're going to do is basically like an analysis on the whole crypto market by basically looking at Bitcoin mainly just because everything is so correlated with Bitcoin. I'll probably also upload the part of the stream where I'll talk about the market in a separate video, so that might be a little bit more easy if you're watching this a little bit later. But yeah, that's basically what we're going to do. Is a full market analysis by basically looking at Bitcoin. I'm probably going to look at Ethereum as well, among some other indicators. I was thinking that maybe on like something like CoinGecko we would be able to find some indicators of volume, sentiment, that kind of stuff. So that's basically what we're going to do. Basically my vision on what's happening right now, and I can promise you one thing, and that is that I'll be realistic. I'll not be filled with hopium. I'll give you my honest opinion, and we're just gonna look at this from a technical standpoint. So yeah, I suppose let's get right into it. And if people join later, they can always ask it, and I'll explain it again. And then probably when I explain it again, I'll also explain a little bit more. So yeah, last time I did an analysis on the full market or Bitcoin. We'll delete that tab for right now. I basically said the price was at around 38.50. Yeah, that Bitcoin, yeah, we'll get there. May drop below 20k. So yeah, that it's possible, but it really depends. So okay, yeah, let's just get right into it. So basically, I do have some theories about Bitcoin, and the main one being is that the whole bull market, bear market thing is not necessarily gone, but it might be a little bit sped up. So it might be a little bit quicker, or it might be suppressed, so that the highs become a little bit lower because more people take profits, and institutions need to take profits to satisfy their customers, frankly. And there are so many institutions and retail investors that we will also go less low, because to be honest, 20k, if we drop below 20k, that would be that is possible, but if that happens, we're in a real bear market. And as I said, I'll be realistic in this video, and I am being realistic if I say that I don't think we're in a bear market just yet. I'm not saying we cannot get into a bear market, but I wouldn't call the market as of right now a bear market. So what I was saying with that, that the whole market has become a little bit more like the whole, like the broader asset market, to be honest, because what you also said about the S&P 500, those are stocks, those are companies. And when Bitcoin first started, it was believed that Bitcoin could be a hedge against stocks. So a hedge, for example, is gold. When the stocks go down, there might be some unrest, either like political unrest or economic unrest, and then the price of gold and also the Japanese yen, but that isn't really the case last year's. Also the Japanese yen, but mainly gold, is considered a safe haven. So something you could put money in when there's turmoil and unrest. And first it was thought that Bitcoin would also be that kind of thing. And that was confirmed for quite a long period of time. because as you might recall, when Bitcoin dropped and we had this whole bull market, this whole bull market, right? Yeah, when we had the whole bull market from the beginning of January up until, well, frankly, the end of 2020, the stock market was just fine. So we'll also take a look at the S&P. The stock market then was just fine, so it wasn't really correlated. But what you see now is that the stock market, I don't need it right now yet, but what you tend to see right now is that the stock market and Bitcoin are more correlated. So if the Nasdaq or the S&P 500 have a bad day, you see that the Bitcoin also drops, and vice versa. So if you think about that, if you think about the fact, and I'm sorry if I'm rambling a little bit, if you have any questions about it, I'll come back to that. If you think about that, then right now that's not, right now it's more correlated. And more institutions that also invest in stocks and ETFs and bonds and stuff are also invested in crypto. So we might have actually gotten rid of the bear bull market thing, or we might have suppressed it, as I said, because institutions take profits a little bit earlier, but they also will not sell as soon as retail investors, to be honest. And that was already kind of confirmed by the whole move we had at the beginning of August up until the end of, or well, to be honest, the middle of November, because that really did not happen. When the market crashed at the beginning of 2018, when that happened, I still remember it because I bought Bitcoin and IOTA and Ripple like somewhere here. The market just fell down, and of course we had some bullish momentum again at the middle of 2019, but that was really not considered a bull market, and it was way further away than this one. So when this happens, first of all, there was more coverage, more people investing, more institutions investing, but also when we had that drop, we had quite a big drop, guys. I mean, you all remember we went down to 29,000 with Bitcoin. But we recovered and we went even higher, and that did not happen with this bull market. And this is the only real bull market, I guess you could say. Well, this was also a bull market, a small one in 2013 the end, but then also we did not have another spike in price or another bull run or another big uptrend within one bull market. So you can already see that the market has changed. And you could consider that to be the fact, or you could consider that to be an effect of more institutions coming in, more retail investors knowing more about crypto, so selling less early. Like me, I'm just not selling my crypto. More people believing in the technology, and just basically more people knowing about it. So it's hard to say as of right now, because just this week we've had this crash, but it could really be that we are in different market circumstances, and that, coming back to your thing about if we can drop to 20,000, that therefore we cannot drop to 20,000 because that would just be too low. And it's hard to say, because for that to happen, what I think now is the most likely scenario, and that's still, as I said, it's still very fresh because we had to move this week, the last few days. So it's very hard to say, but what I think the most likely scenario is right now, or at least the upcoming scenario. So I do think there is a small key level right about where we are right now. You can also see that a little bit lower. There's also the 100 EMA on the weekly, which tends to be quite strong. We do have this key level, but I don't think that key level is enough to actually hold us back from this key level, which is below 300,000 and 29,000. I actually think we are going to get there. So maybe that's a little bit of a proof of my realism. I do think we're going to get there, but I think we might see something more like this. So maybe we'll stay down there a little bit. But we might see another move up, and I know that might kind of sound like hopium, but that's kind of what happened right here. And if you could consider that right now we are more in a consolidation stage, in a big consolidation stage with uptrends and downtrends, if you think that's the case, so if the whole market has changed and that's the new market we're in, which is possible, and then for example that we grow slowly over time and maybe have one big bull market again, as I said, it's very hard to say. I mean, if you think that's happening, then yeah, we could still see a bullish 2022. When this whole thing happened, a lot of people said that we were in the crypto winter again and the bear markets, and look what it did. What I'm trying to say is don't lose hope, definitely not for the long term. I mean, if you look at the worst case scenario, so that this is a bear market, then there is a very good chance, if everything stays a little bit regulated and stuff, it's a very good chance that we will have another bull run, and a very good chance that a lot of people get rich again. But the only thing you have to do is keep believing and staying updated a little bit, because to be honest, the most money could be made at the beginning of 2020 up until the summer of 2020. I think it's called the golden summer of crypto, because so many good projects were created back then. So that's the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, we're in a bear market and it will take 2 to 3 years again before we reach the levels we're at right now. Best case scenario is the whole market structure has changed, for which we already have some validation. I mean, I'm not trying to say that that's the only thing that can happen. We already have some validation that the whole market structure has changed. Also because, I mean, I went over it, but for the new viewers, I mean, this looks nothing like this. And we also looked at the bull market of 2014, 2013. And this looks nothing like that as well. This drop is actually quite unprecedented. Such a big drop from like the all-time high then, dropped by more than 55%. So what we did right now is we dropped for 50%. Would we drop down there, it would be 55, it would be the same. So actually then we dropped down even more, and we still recovered. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm, to be honest, hoping for, but also what I'm kind of expecting. I think it's very hard to break that 29,000. If we do break that 29,000, I think we have to be realistic, and to be honest, I think that's a confirmation for a bear market. Maybe I could justify the price dropping down to 20,000 just because of all the political and economic unrest with inflation and specific countries. It's not my duty to become political, but specific countries, there's just unrest in the world, so I could maybe justify the opinion that we might drop down a little bit lower and then consolidate. So what I think is going to happen from that 29,000 level, we do that from a little bit lower, and we might see some less upward moves, so to a maximum of 50,000 or so, or something. That's possible, but I think it is more likely that if we break that 29,000 up until 31,000 key level, that we go into some sort of a bear market. And as I said, that short term, that really wouldn't be great. Not for you, not for me. But long term, that brings a lot of opportunities. So coming back to your question about why does it happen, that they are so similar, I think you're talking about the stock market and crypto. As I said, there's just increasingly more, the players in both markets, in my opinion at least, are increasingly more alike. So what you had in 2018 was investors in crypto. There were big investors and some institutions, but it was still kind of rare to invest in Bitcoin. And what happened with the bull market at the end of 2020 and 2021 is a lot of those institutions were still in, but also a little bit more standard names joined the market. So What you have right now is that there's homogeneity, if that's a word. English is not my native tongue. But there are a lot of the same actors in both markets. So if something happens with institutions, if they need to sell off, then that is felt throughout crypto and the stock market. Maybe, like, if you know finance, maybe the beta of the crypto market is a little bit higher than the stock market. That could definitely be true, just because the market cap of crypto is also smaller. So you could consider it as a little bit more risky, therefore volatile. So they are correlated in the movements, but the crypto market might move down a little bit more than the stock market, if I remember that I did those correctly. But I think that's the main thing, that the same actors are in both markets. So if one specific type of actor wants to buy assets, they will buy crypto and stocks. And if for some reason they need to sell, or they feel like they need to sell, so if they're expecting bad economic things and stuff, then they will sell both asset classes, and then you get kind of a correlation. And yeah, I mean, I think that's the best thing. If you didn't take partials on your cryptos like in November or in December, when we kind of recovered a little bit, then then I wouldn't sell. Last bit of coffee. Yeah, no problem, man. And I gotta be honest, that's just my view on it. And I do have some experience in finance and stuff, but yeah, just do research on with other people as well. It's always the best thing to kind of collect opinions and stances and viewpoints of a lot of people, and then based upon that create your own. The RSI is the lowest since 2020. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. I wanted to get to that as well. I think I'm going to do a video on that as well, but I'll also do it here, of course. I mean, yeah. So that is true. I do have to change my RSI a little bit. I changed it a little bit. Oh wow, they actually did a lot of things with it. Okay. So let's see if we can change it a little bit. It's very true, the RSI, that it is very low as of right now, but it is. I mean, I used to be a full-time trader, and now I trade occasionally, and I don't really like lagging indicators. I do think they're saying something, but also the RSI, I think I have a very old video on the RSI, or I deleted it. We can find it out. It's basically looking at how quick the price is falling, and based upon that it determines if it's undersold or oversold. So yeah, oh wait, let me do this. No, some free advertising, can't find it right now. So it is true, and we can kind of zoom out a little bit, maybe do something like this. Let's draw some lines. So at the end of 2018, let's make this a little bit of a brighter color. End of 2018, it was quite low. Like right now we're at 37, but as I said, I did some things with my RSI. Maybe I can find one that's it's a little bit better. Let's see if we can modify this a little bit. So length, 14 candles. Guess we could also do 8. Of course, close. So yeah, we do 8. We check it out. Maybe we can do a little bit of this. So you said that it was at the lowest since 2020. That's not true. We were a little bit lower March of 2020. we're still very low. I mean, we're under 30, so that's very oversold. We still were a little bit more down. Like this was at the end of the bull market, I believe, at least. So let's actually validate that. That's of course the best thing we can do. Yeah, that was really, so it became very oversold at the end of the bear market in 2014. And when did we reach these levels? We did so here. So you could argue that we would have some upside before the real bear market. Could be true, but then again, this is the bull run of 2014, and I actually think that's that's the least reliable bull run. We can almost compare bull runs with each other. So if we're looking at that, the times we've actually reached this level, we're at 2018, also before some bullish weeks and months. And we also did so here. Then we were very bullish. Now we're even more oversold, and that's actually quite interesting. Now we're actually more oversold while we are less percentage down from the all-time high than the end of May, beginning of August. So look, if you only do some research on it, the only time we have actually reached this level of being oversold was, and this is purely just facts. I mean, of course, this is not financial advice, but yeah. Yeah, I'll come back to your other comments as well. Just want to first do this small research. So yeah, only times we've been at this level was here. After that, we had quite some bullish months. It was the beginning of the bull market, to be honest. And also here we went even a little bit lower, but still, from there we also had quite some bullish months. Went up by 250% on Bitcoin, one of the biggest cryptos. Then we have to go back down a little bit further. We went down there right here. Then we were consolidating, and afterwards we had a big bullish move. So if you start from here, it took quite a while. I mean, you must know that it took more than half a year. Oh, I hate that. I really do hate that. So it took more than half a year. You should know that. But still, after that, we had a big bull market. Then also here, then we dropped down. We had some bullishness, but I guess if you look at the monthly, it might be, this drop might be the same. Then we can go down, go further in time a little bit more, even to the beginning of Bitcoin, 2011. Those were great times to buy. So then we also dropped down, and we also had some bullishness. So if you look at it that way, to be honest, you could make a case that we're actually it might actually be a good time to buy. You almost convinced me, because as I said, I don't really trust the RSI just because it's a lagging indicator, and I never really trusted it with trading. It's but if you look at the precedent of what has happened when the RSI has touched these levels, first of all, the other times it dropped down a little bit more. So we could, as I said, with the scenario, we could drop down a little bit lower to the 31.29 level. But what happened with all the other ones? So worst case scenario, if you look at all the other scenarios where the RSI dropped to this level, if you look at all those scenarios, the worst thing that happened was something like this. A consolidation, so in this case between 35,000 and 31,000 for half a year before an uptrend. Quite a strong one. So that's quite an interesting thing to think about. Yeah. So if we wouldn't have something like this, and the time period is completely correct. So we could, in the worst case scenario, we would go up in something like September, August, September. So if you look at something like this, that if it doesn't do something like this, it would be the first time for like 1, 2, 3, 4 in 5 times. That is possible, but it's a strong case that this might actually hold. And the theory of a I guess you could say, I mean, there's also this theory about the lengthening cycle, right? That's still possible. It wouldn't really fit, because it would mean that this cycle is actually really long, so I wouldn't really want to talk about that too long. But it would fit, as I said, that we could be in some sort of a more consolidation, and that the whole, as I said, market structure has changed of the crypto market, and that we will not see bull markets or bear markets again, but rather bull or uptrends and downtrends within a slowly uptrending consolidation. So yeah, also the total market from the start of 2021, the graph shows ascending view. Personally, I'm still bullish long term until we break around 1.5 T. So that's full market cap you're talking about, right? With 1.5 T. With the FIPS for the total market, yeah, of course I could. Of course I could. Total market, total. Let's see. Crypto total market excludes. No, I don't want to exclude it. Yeah, so we can take a look at that, of course. Oh, I already did some analysis on it. Someday. That was a long time ago though. So, well, first of all, I do want to say that long term, I'm still bullish on crypto. Even if we go into a bear market right now, I'll still keep making videos. I'll probably shift my videos a little bit more to NFTs and passive income as well, just because a lot of people are viewing those. And I mean, I make videos for my love of crypto and the blockchain technology, but it's also good to focus on what people want to see. So I'll yeah, bye for now, Lucas. It was nice having you here. But yeah, as I said, I'm still bullish long term, definitely for the whole blockchain technology and the cryptos I invested in. Most of them, for now at least. I mean, that can also change. But yeah. So let's look at this. Let's go to a daily. That's a little bit more price action. If you look at the whole of 2021, sure, we still look bullish, but if you go back 1 year from now, so February, then we were, or here, yeah, then we're still quite bullish. I mean, I guess you could say, so if we put like a vertical line at the beginning of 2021, something like this. It's also kind of what I said about us now being in a consolidation that's slowly trending upwards. That could still consider, oh wow, we actually lined up with it. I feel like I should have seen that, because Bitcoin probably lined up as well. Let's check that out real quick. I'm sorry, man. I'll get back to the analysis real quick, but just out of curiosity, I want to see this as well. Let's see it. Did I actually draw that? I drew it from a different point. I think you have to draw it from somewhere like this if you want the same point. Somewhere like this, or this. More like this. Yeah. Then we drop down a little bit more. Okay. But yeah, this is interesting. I can do a full analysis, but yeah, as you said, if you look at this, we're still considered bullish. And that is true. This lines up perfectly as well. Well, you could have actually predicted that top. So this could still happen, but it's all really depending on the way you look at things. So let's draw a few major fibs. I draw fibs a little bit different. but that's just because of the way I see them, so don't be alarmed by that. And did a lot of back testing and stuff on fibs to see what works best. So I'm not saying I'm an expert or something, but this is just the way I draw them. You can also draw this one. See, yeah, we could extend it, extend it. Go somewhere like here. So now I'm just drawing all the major fibs. I guess we could also draw the major fib from here. So there it's still not, maybe from here it's valid. No, it breaks. There it also breaks. Okay, now that's a tough fib to draw. So what we can do is of course drop this or draw this one. Yeah, let's just draw it from the top. We'll not do too difficult things. So yeah, if we do that, and we make this a different color because that's actually quite major. I mean, you could still say, as I said and as you pointed out quite rightfully, that we are still in an uptrend. But that's also depending on the way you see things, because that's from the beginning of 2021. If you actually look at a broader perspective, so something like this, there's actually quite a big resistance level. Then you could also see it as something like this, so a more of a consolidation, and that this was more of an outlier. If you actually look at the weekly, it might look like that a little bit more. You could consider that just to be a fake out. So it is depending on how you see things. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I guess we have to see. I guess we'd have to see if that 1.6 holds. And also, so are you suggesting that you're no longer bullish if we break 1.5? Because what I'm trying to say is that if we break 1.5, and I'll get to Cardano in a minute on the thoughts. So see, I know what you mean with this whole trend line and being bullish in 2021. It is true. If we hold that, that would be great. If we actually hold this and do something like this, so let me get my paintbrush. If we do something like this, and then go up to 2.15 trillion and get even higher, or we'll probably get higher if that happens, then of course that would be great. But I wouldn't just say, and I said that in the beginning as well, I wouldn't call this a bear market, or I wouldn't lose my long-term trust, but also hope for crypto if it breaks that 1.5 trillion total market cap, because we still have that 1.2 trillion to fall back on. And if we do that, you could still consider this one big consolidation, and there's still hope for 2.6 trillion. And that's not just based on hopium. I mean, for all the new viewers, as I said in the beginning, I promised to be realistic, and I'm definitely not afraid to call it a bear market, but I will only call it a bear market if I really think it is. And I don't think it is yet. Even if we break that 1.5, I wouldn't lose my bullishness. So yeah, that's it for now. Or not the stream, but that's my opinion and the analysis of what's happening right now. Let's take a look at Cardano for a minute. My thoughts are Cardano. I've actually become increasingly more bullish on Cardano. So yeah, this was my. I said that if we would break. So I did this analysis when the whole bearish fundamental started. If we would break, we would probably find support at around 1.07 or $1. Well, we did that. We shot through even a little bit more to 91 cents. Didn't expect that, to be honest. Looks to be recovering a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Cardano right now, if you look at the price, so if you only look at the price and if you look at the technical or the price analysis, then just subjective to what the whole crypto market is doing. I mean, Cardano is not going to, just because it had a 40% gain in the last month before the whole bearish things happened, it's not going to avoid that. And Cardano, the project itself, I really do believe in their project. Oh, wait a minute. The light has turned out. Cannot pay my electricity anymore because the crypto is down like this. Yeah, you can still see me. Okay. So I've actually become an increasingly bigger fan of Cardano after watching the whole interview of Charles Hoskinson with Lex Fridman. I think he is a very smart man. There are some problems with Cardano, with the speed they're putting out new things, but I also think there's a great potential in what they're doing with how they want to govern their blockchain. I think Cardano is one of the only big projects that's actually looking at academics and a lot of papers and essays on things like game theory, and they're basing their whole blockchain design based upon that. Whether you're against or in favor of science, if certain papers or essays are actually conclusive and the hypotheses are tested and they are validated or rejected, then why wouldn't you use that to increase the security of your blockchain? It's mainly the security and the scalability. I kind of believe that will come with time. The same with Ethereum. If I would have to choose between Cardano and Ethereum right now, it would be Ethereum, just because of the speed they're putting things out and the communication. But I think Cardano has a lot of opportunities as well, and the scalability and the speed, I think they come with time. So if we take Ethereum is an easier example for that. A lot of layer 2 solutions are coming out for Ethereum, and when I believe one of the things of Ethereum 2.0, I'm sure it's sharding. It also increases the speed of decentralized apps and the throughput of transactions. So if all of those things come out, the speed will be alright. And then Cardano has great security because of the trade-offs they made based upon academic papers and those kind of things. So yeah, Cal, I'll see you. Thank you for your input on the stream. Oh yeah, nice one. Yeah, I'm planning to do more live streams soon. I think it's a good way to communicate with you all. It's also easy to do some quick technical analysis on what you all want to see. So have a good one, man. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts on Cardano. As I said, it's definitely not perfect, but there is definitely potential. So, what is the market doing? I think nothing real is happening right now. What you tend to see is, or what I tend to see at least, this is looking nice, is that most big price movements actually happen in the night for me. So that's GMT +1, Western Europe. They always happen at around, like if we go take a look at the 4 hour, at around 3 o'clock at night, so something like this, within this candle. It's looking a little bit bullish right now. You might actually see some bullish candles, guys. You might actually have a bullish day. I still remember when, if you guys haven't already, you can, oh that's a little bit lot. If you guys haven't already, you can join my Discord. I believe there I said something like, yeah, damn boys, is this the pump? That's when we went up to 44,000 again. Well, that aged very well. But yeah, you can join the Discord. I think the link is in most of the descriptions of my videos. It's not in the description of this stream, so that's a little bit stupid. But yeah, here you can also summon charts and stuff, so something like this. Okay, cannot find that. You can request analysis of certain cryptos. Members only chat if you're a member of this YouTube channel, which you could become, but it's definitely not necessary. But there's a members only chat in which I share a little bit more than I do in the main chat. And there's also all of my registration links. They're also in the descriptions of my videos, also not of the stream. So yeah, here, this is a chart. But yeah, these can save you some money. I know when the whole crypto market is done, you probably don't want to buy cryptos. It's totally cool, but if you do want to sign up with one of these exchanges, one of these links could be good. So you either get cash back, so 5% on Huobi, 5% on KuCoin, and 10% on Gate.io. I would recommend Gate.io just because they have the biggest amount of cryptos, I think. And Bybit, you can get some bonus USDT, but you have to do some things for that as well. So it's not that you get that. It's a little bit of clickbait from their marketing, but hope they're not watching. So you can do that, but definitely no forcing out there. Yeah, we need some upside, chunk. So we could actually, you know what would be fun? Maybe we'll do something like this, some 5-minute scalping. I'm not really going to trade, but we could see something like, I mean, here we're having some upside. So what could be possible? What I would be doing if I were scalping right now. So if you don't know what scalping is, it's basically trading on very low time frames and gaining a little bit of percentages. So yeah, this could be, we could do something like this as a trade. Let's see how that ages. And all the way up until 35,700. That's a 2.0 risk reward. That would be great. Let's see if it hits. So yeah, guys, do you have any other analysis you want to see? In the meanwhile, I'm gonna check out CoinGecko and see if they have any more indicators on the whole crypto market. Where we can see it right here. Gainers and losers. There's nothing there. Maybe right there. So resources. Yeah. Ethereum. No. Products. No, so not here. Maybe on Discover they have some things. Positive sentiment. Well, that's great. Great that there is some positive. Oh wow, this is actually top trending coins in a specific country. Wow. Okay. Didn't know that. But yeah, these are don't trust these. They're not true. A lot of these meme coins have ways of getting into the top trending things. Well, they're not actually trending. I think they're just botting the name all over social media. Well, Doji on Mars is actually really bullish. Not sure how that happened. So LCX, yeah, I'll do an analysis on LCX. I didn't really find any indicators. Doesn't matter. And there was something else I wanted to check. I'm not sure. No. It's a shame. But LCX, so okay. Guys, if you don't know LCX, I think it's the native token for the LCX exchange, which is the Liechtenstein cryptocurrency exchange. I have a lot of great partnerships, but LCX is quite centralized, and I think that there is no max supply. It's not that inflationary, so don't worry too much for that. It's a little bit though. Alright, so we can see the trade now. So we would have taken it from there. Let's see if it, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to check out. Let's see if it would have been a good trade. It's always fun to win or lose when you're not actually winning or losing something. So yeah, it's been quite a while since I did an analysis on this. Let's see. I need to update it real quick, my man. Oh, that looks ugly. Okay, let's see. This seems like a good fit. Maybe from there. No, I'll do the fit from there. So let's make that white. Then we have a big. So we have a small key level right here. Then we have a big key level right here. Yeah, there are definitely some resistance levels. So we already found resistance right here, so that's basically a perfect break retest off of this point and a key level around it. It's going to be tough actually to get up there again. So it might have already happened, the resistance level. You might have or should have taken profit at, because we dropped down and immediately dropped down to the 618. So it's still possible that we see some upwards momentum. I guess you could say next resistance would be around 13.5 cents. Very strong one. So it's starting at 13.3 all the way up until 14.2. So if we could see something like this, that the price stays above that 9.5 area and we close above 11.2, then it might be possible that we go up there. But as I say always, it really depends on the whole state of the crypto market too. To me, that whole state of the crypto market is still relatively unknown, and it's still quite unpredictable. So it's hard. I mean, if we do manage to close above that 11.2, and then we could definitely get to 13.3, and that's the first resistance. And you know, if we get into a bull market, then everything changes. Then that 13.3 wouldn't even probably hold, and probably would do something like this. Get up there, find some resistance at 15 cents, and try to trend towards 20 cents. Probably finding resistance versus 19 cents. But we're not in a bull market, so forget that. Not yet, at least. This area does look strong. It's around the 7.5 cents support level, which is also kind of considered as a psychological support level. So that's LCX for now. I did see that it was very trending today. So yeah, let's actually see if some cryptos are relatively bullish. See what our trade did. Yeah, it hit stop loss. Great. Well guys, we touched 35,500. We're now down again. So what would be a little bit more of a conservative trade? A little bit more conservative would be something like this. I mean, this is also, I mean, this is just trading for nothing. It's the 5-minute time frame. It's very unreliable. Could see something like this though. Something like this. But yeah, I'll probably wake up tomorrow to see what happened with that. We might find support already here. As I said, it is looking a little bit more bullish right now, but that's not saying a lot. not saying a lot. So yeah, guys, I'm probably quitting the stream right now. It's been enough. It's quite late already. Might do one more video, not sure. If you do want to know what happened with the series I just started, where I started with $2,800, just look at my last video. I'll probably update this or upload this video as well a little bit later if you want to re-watch it. At the beginning of this video I did a full market analysis, full crypto market analysis, and on Bitcoin mainly. But yeah, as for now, thank you all for watching and listening. Thank you for your time. As I said, if you do want to join the Discord, the link is on the channel, but also in all the descriptions. So I'll probably maybe see you there. And I am planning on streaming a little bit more. So yeah, maybe see you soon. But as for now, guys, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, stay safe, and take care, guys.